to get started. So, thanks for coming. This is our third special camp, our skills series for all of the junior charters, available to all the junior charters and only the junior charters. So, thank you for coming. For those of you who've been with us a while, been with us a few years, you may have met Coach Schramek. You may have attended one of these hitting skills camps in the past, and that's great. You're going to get a couple different things. You're going to see a couple different things. For those of you who are new to our club, or maybe this is your first time attending one of the camps with Coach Schramek, this will be a great opportunity for you to learn some of the fundamentals of hitting and what to expect when you get to the high school level. So it's not too far away for most of you here. It's maybe only a year or two or three or maybe four. But what's good now is to get those fundamentals of hitting understood now so that you can start to carry those through the next few years as you play baseball here with the junior chargers. It's a great opportunity for our coaches to participate as well and gain as much knowledge as they can from Coach Schramek on his expectations and how he expects us to be developing the boys as we move forward. So, if you don't know Coach Schramek, he has about 17 years of head coaching baseball experience at the high school level. He played high school at Sussex. He played catcher in college for Carroll. He originally coached at Muskego High School, and he's been now with Sussex Hamilton for about 7, I think going on 8 years. So it's a pleasure to have him here. And please, this is an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes most probably that we're going to be in here. Please give him your utmost attention while you're here, and work hard while you are in the cages and on the tees, all right? So with that, please welcome Coach Schramek.
I certainly appreciate the opportunity, and for the guys that have heard you talk, this is a huge advantage for you guys because one of the things that I want to accomplish through this is to make sure, and coaches, I'm seeing some familiar faces, and the story hasn't changed. There's a variety of different words and ways to describe what you're doing as a hitter. And the one thing that I want to make sure that you guys are getting is the way that we describe what we do and how we do it. And depending on whether it's a coach back there or maybe some other coach that maybe you've had the benefit of being able to be coached by, what I'm saying, the words that I'm using may sound different, but at the end of the day, when you're learning hitting, there's some core things that need to happen that no matter how it's described, it's all the same thing. I don't know if this is making sense to you guys, but that is my biggest goal, is for you guys to kind of get how we describe what we're doing, give you some understanding of why we're doing what we're doing, and then we kind of go from there. And the advantages for you guys, especially as I'm seeing some of the older guys over here, like Coach had said, sooner rather than later, you're going to be in a high school program. And just to give you guys a heads up, by raising hands, how many of you guys are aware that we need a shift? We no longer play summer baseball, we play spring baseball. Okay? We had our sign-up meeting in December. Last year, I had 47 kids sign up for the baseball program. This year, we had 73. No, one more just came in, 74. Competition is tight. So, you start doing the math on that, 74 guys, and we've got 3 levels, so you got 3 shortstops out of 74 guys. Something's got to give, all right? So any advantage you can give yourself, you need to try to do that. And the advantage, again, that I'm trying to give you is understanding the vocab that we use and making sure that you understand how that vocab is, those words that we're using, the way we describe things, how that works in what we're doing. The first part of what I've got going on, coaches, quite honestly, is more tailored towards you. So you guys, I apologize, just guys need to hang in there. On the back end of things, we'll kind of get things going a little bit more where you guys are a little bit more active in doing some things. That being said, when I did this the first time around, I was a little bit fumbly. Let me start with this. Any of you coaches maybe got an older kid that's in the high school already, so you're either got the high school website saved on your phone at all of any sort? Okay. Can you guys do me a favor and pull out your phone real quick? And I would like you guys to go to the district website. And here's the easiest way to get there, right to my webpage. Just type into a Google search, Sports Engine, Sussex Hamilton Baseball. That link should get you directly to the Hamilton, my program website that's on the district website. And once you're there, I put a link at the very top. It's titled High School Hitting Cues for Junior Chargers Coaches Clinic. Just go ahead and click on that. Anybody got it? No service? All right. One of these, and again, seeing a bunch of familiar faces, one of the things I wanted to do, guys, is, you know, we've got a little different twist on what we're going to be doing here today, but some of it is going to be overlap. Some of it is going to be stuff that you have seen, and the different twist is I have something that I'm doing at the high school right now. You know, guys, metrics. Have you heard this metrics thing in baseball? Any idea what it is? Raise your hand if you at least have heard it. They're measuring metrics. Any idea what that is? It's just numbers. Where are my math guys? Where are my guys that like math? Okay. Then you guys will like metrics. What metrics are they're numbers that we can use to help us as hitters. Okay. I've got my TV screen over there. I've got a little Bluetooth thing that we're going to get hooked up to your bat, and we're going to be measuring some things off of your swing to kind of help you out. Okay, coaches, the ones that couldn't get to it, basically what I wanted you to take a look at was I have a PDF on there that goes through the things that we've talked about in the past, but gives you a little bit more in-depth, thorough rationale behind what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it. And my hope is that you reference that. And you know, the key for you guys as players and or coaches, the bottom line is you have to own what it is that you're doing. You know, and as I'm looking at the oldest of the old here, if you wanna get under my skin and drive me nuts coming into my program, be a head nodder. Do you know what a head nodder is? Coach tells you something and you just nod your head. What am I talking about? Coach, you hit a pop-up. Why? You got nothing to say. I want you guys to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, so you can have some good dialogue with me when you get to high school, some good dialogue with your coaches right now. You know, when you hit a pop-up to a shortstop, I don't need you guys sitting there expecting your coach to tell you what you did wrong. How many people, just out of curiosity, by raising hands, how many people think at this point in time in my baseball career, I have a pretty good idea of maybe what I did wrong if I popped up to the shortstop? And that's outstanding, and that's what we need to have, okay? And that's kind of, guys, that's kind of what the PDF is me just trying to kind of lay out what we're doing, but then kind of the deeper understanding of what we're doing and why we're doing it and how it translates onto the field. I want to highlight something that's on this PDF, and that will relate, gentlemen, down to that technology that we have down there. A couple of hitting facts I'm going to share out with you. You guys have a very, very limited amount of time to react to the baseball, okay? You older guys, I'm guessing that you have pitchers that are in the solid 70s, maybe even creeping towards 80, yeah? Okay? You guys probably have pitchers that are solid 60s, maybe even creeping into the 70s, okay? 70-mile-an-hour fastball, you have 55 100ths of a second to make a decision on what to do. You said you were math guys. 55 100ths of a second, very much time? No, it's not even a full second, right? Not even a full second, okay? You've got to decide, A, am I going to swing? I got to decide, was it a good pitch? I got to decide if it was a breaking ball, if it was a fastball, in, out, all sorts of stuff need to be decided in less than a second. That's not a lot of time, is it? Okay? The other thing that I want to share out with you, and everything that we're going to do kind of coincides with these two things. I don't have a lot of time to make a decision, and now are all you guys on a slope mound, or are some of you guys still on a flat mound? You're still flat?
11s and 12s are still flat.
Okay, so you guys are on the slope mound though, right? So when you look at these numbers, we have this thing that is going to be called attack angle. Okay, and that's one of the things that my technology will measure is an attack angle. Can I borrow? 8th graders? 7th graders? So we've been on coordinate graphs, and we understand zero and negatives and all that kind of good stuff, right? All right. So if this is my zero line, your mathematical brains right now are telling me where is negative if this is zero. Negative should be where? Below this or above this? Just think of this as the axis line. Where's zero going to be? It's going to be below. Okay. Positive would be above, right? You guys got to reverse your thinking when it comes to this measurement. It's actually the opposite. When you guys are looking at this, and just in general, when we talk about an attack angle for a hitter, a positive attack angle is going to be down, okay? And for you guys that are on the slope, any kid, and the nice thing about this is whether it's the 7-year-olds we've got in the program, all the way up to my 17 and 18-year-olds that are on the varsity, the ideal attack angle for a line drive hitter is between 0 to 15 degrees. So that's the good news. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's all the same. However, you guys over here, my suggestion to you as coaches that have these guys going up flat mounts, the perfect, most ideal attack angle you want is 0. And here's the reason why. The pitcher's throwing at 0. I should swing at 0. For you guys, your 0, let's see how smart you are. Your 0 is really 6. The slope of the mound, give or take, should be approximately 6 degrees. So why do you want to attack the ball at 6 degrees? Why am I calling that 0? Why does that make sense to you? Yeah, it cancels out, doesn't it? Okay. So when we look at this attack angle, here's what we want to be careful with. As we come through and we're attacking the baseball, if we're at a negative attack angle, okay, where is my bat? This is 0. So if it's a negative attack angle, can somebody tell me where this bat should be? Good. This would be a negative attack angle, which means that I'm coming down on the ball. You guys probably aren't going to see that a whole lot today. Okay, we have a few kids, but not too many. Based on what we're doing in this program, which is a lot of good stuff, we've worked out of that. We don't have kids that are chopping on the ball so much. Okay. However, what we will see, and I've tried this out with my varsity guys a couple of times. I'm seeing some 25s, I'm seeing some 30s. What's that telling me? So as the kid's coming through, what's that telling me? Yeah, we're dropping the bat head way too far, and we're coming here, and you are nothing but a pop-up waiting to happen, okay? If we truly, truly want to be a clean line drive hitter, like I said, you guys, 6 is your number. You guys, 0 is your number. For all of you, anywhere between 0 to 15, we're in good shape, okay? So we'll get into that. Now, before we get into that, I do want to go through, and whose bat did I steal? I do want to go through, and we're gonna go very quickly through the things, and coaches, I apologize, the ones that have heard this a gazillion times, didn't do one more time, but I want to tie in these two things that I just talked about into this technology, and how I'm using this technology to help with what I already have in place. So guys, I need you to find your own space. We've got this whole facility. Find your own space where you're not going to kill someone if you're swinging the bat. So spread yourself out. I need you to be by your guys, and as I'm talking through this stuff, just kind of help them out with the different things that we're doing here. All right. Bat's rested on your shoulder, nice and relaxed. Now, for those that have not heard the spiel before, either come see me or what have you, but I'm not going as deliberate as I normally do, but we have this very deliberate cadence where we go feet, fingers, stance, load, stack, feet, finish. Okay, the feet part. Go ahead and bat rested on your shoulder, feet. And when we say feet, what we want to make sure is we're on the balls of our feet. Okay? So this is one thing with this part of the swing, coaches, that I really want to make sure that you're paying attention to. Anybody remember what the decimal was? How much time do I have to react to the ball? Very close, 5,500 to about 6,500ths of a second. That's not very long. You guys are too flat-footed. You are not going to be able to rotate and get on that ball the way that you need to or want to. Okay? So coaches, seems like a very minor little thing, but it's extremely important that your guys have the ability to rotate the best that they possibly can. So don't overlook that, or don't feel as though, whatever. No, get them on the balls of their feet. So right now I want to see you guys in your stance, okay, on the balls of your feet. And again, the rationale here is you need to be able to rotate. If you're on the balls of your feet, you're able to rotate. The more of your foot that's on the ground, the more time you're taking, and now that reaction time that you need, that's so limited, you're sucking it all up because it's taking forever and a day for you to get your body through the zone. All right? All right. Next thing. Stance. Let that go back on your shoulder. With our stance, you know, and how many guys, by raising hands, see big leaguers with their back elbow all over the place? Some guys have it down, some guys maybe here, some guys way up, and all in between. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. There's guys that are all over the place. I'm going to be 100% frank, meaning honest, with you guys. Brian Braun, or whatever big leaguer you're seeing, they got that high elbow up and all that. They're big leaguers. The bottom line is they have the ability to get in any position, and when it's go time, which means when it's time to snap on that ball, their hands are right in the position they need to be. And because they're big leaguers, they have the ability to make up times because they're so darn quick. Okay? For you guys, and for my kids in the high school for that matter, you know, the clientele we have, I don't mean to say this other than to be 100% honest. As we look around this room, how many guys do you think are going to be playing for the Houston Astros someday? Or the Colorado Rockies, or the Milwaukee Brewers? I know you aspire to, and you need to keep working hard and aspire to that. But the reality is that going to happen for a lot of guys in this room? Just give me a yes or no out loud. No. And part of the reason that's not going to happen is because you guys need to get to the baseball as efficiently as possible, otherwise it ain't going to happen. If you don't need to be efficient, you're probably well on your way to being a big league player, I'll guarantee you that. So my overall point is this, to players and coaches. What I'm about to present right now is just trying to put your kids in a position where they have the least amount of stuff to do as possible. You got the elbow up, the elbow's got to come down at some point in time. And the big leaguer that has his elbow up, you break down his film, you'll see it. The elbow comes down, okay? A lot of guys do things to either stay in balance or get in rhythm. For you guys, I don't know where that's necessary, okay? So, bat on the shoulder. I'm getting to my exact point here. Take the bat off your shoulder. Ideally, what we want to have, and coaches, this is where I need your help. We have a hitter's triangle. And I'm going to have Johnny do it this way and then the other way. Hitter's triangle basically is the knob of the bat is the apex of the top of the triangle. Then it goes down to one elbow, across to the other elbow, and back up to the knob of the bat. That's the triangle. Coaches, can you go around and draw the hitter's triangle for each player just so he can kind of see where it's at and or make sure that he's got that hitter's triangle? Good. Got it? Good. All right, rest that bat on your shoulder. The reason why I want a hitter's triangle is because I want you to get to the ball as quickly as possible without having a whole lot to have happen, okay? Just here to here, okay? The other thing, real quick, rest the bat on your shoulders. Lift the fingers in, lift the index fingers in the air. That's the two fingers you point with. Just rest your bat on your shoulder and pick up your index fingers. Both those fingers should be pointing into the sky. Now, those of you that have been around me for a while, this is going to sound a little different. And based on the research I've done and the people I've talked to, I've kind of hit a happy middle ground. I used to preach, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, line up the top knuckles here, right? Well, here's the bottom line. The main big knuckles, they can't be lined up. If you got the main big knuckles lined up, you're all locked up. Anything above that is fine, okay? So, you see me taking my big main knuckles and twisting a little bit here? They're not quite lined up, but I'm okay. I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. any range in there is okay. Okay? It gives the kids a little bit more freedom to be a little bit more relaxed. Here's the bottom line with that. Gentlemen, here's what I want you to do. Rest that bat on your shoulder. When I say main knuckles, they're the big knuckles way back here. Twist your hands and line those knuckles up. Let's make sure you've got those lined up. Point your fingers and they should be going in opposite directions. Just give me a real loud yes, coach. Do I feel tight? Yes or no? Yes. Good. You should feel tight. When those top knuckles are lined up that way, your wrists are locked, your forearms are locked. Now bring in this full circle to that technology. Somebody remind me, what's the decimal? Approximately what? 65 100ths of a second to react to the ball. Okay? If you're all tight and you're trying to get through, this is slow. It ain't gonna happen. Unlock those forearms, unlock those wrists. So again, very, very small thing, coaches, but you gotta make sure you get those kids to make sure that those knuckles are lined up so their wrists are loose, forearms are loose, and what that does is it unlocks the whole upper half. The whole upper half is going to be that much quicker, all because of the knuckles. As amazing as that sounds, that's a true fact. They have to have those hands nice and loose so they can react the way they need to. All right, boys, ready? So, fingers, stand. Take that bat on the shoulder, hitter's triangle. Again, the theme here is approximately 65 100ths of a second to get to the ball. Take a look at your players right now. What we want to have, and now combine that attack angle that I talked about. I'm going to use this friend right here. I'm gonna be obnoxious. Hang on the bat. You got a kid that's got a bat that's sticking straight up in the sky. This takes time, coaches, to get this into the correct slot and then through. And with 65 100ths of a second, we ain't got time to waste. So, in a perfect world, ideally what I'd like to see, I call this the shaft of the bat. Get that shaft maybe about 6 inches off their shoulder. More importantly, challenge your kids to turn around and can they see the barrel of the bat. If they've got to look up there, that's no good. That's too steep. Okay? If they've got to keep turning as far as their head can't even turn, that's too deep. All of this is going to take time. So in a perfect world, we just want to have that top hand more or less lined up with their ear hole. Have that bat at about a 30 to 45 degree behind them. And here's the bottom line. We don't have a lot of time to get to the baseball. Okay? And plus, we want to get into that 0 to 15 degree attack angle. Let's get that bat almost to that point as best as we can just in this setup. So now I'm just here to here. All right? You guys go ahead and get in your stance. Coaches will come around and take a look. If you're too steep, they might adjust you. If your barrel's stuck too far behind your head, they might adjust you. Good. 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 All right. Now, again, just prepping for that technology. You guys are going to get over there. I'm going to get this technology on you guys. But I want you guys to have, you and your coaches for that matter, a firm understanding of what that number is and how it works in the swing. All right. So we've got our hitter's triangle. Go ahead and get in your hitter's triangle. Now, as I'm looking around, I don't see any issues with this, but that hitter's triangle more or less should be pointed at the catcher at this point in time. Okay? So as I'm looking at this, if you can visually kind of take a look at this, I'm the catcher here. That triangle is more or less pointing at me. Coaches, what we don't want is we don't want that triangle pointing straight at home plate. It should be slightly pointing towards the catcher. Okay? Relax for a second, guys. The other number I'm going to give you is called time to contact. And what time to contact measures is when you break your wrist. Okay? When you break your wrist, that clock will start ticking, and how long does it take for you now to hit the ball? The higher your number is, means that you broke your wrist real soon. So, one of the things we we see all the time in the high school and need to fix all the time is my hand casters. Okay? And what I mean by that is, instead of loading and rotating here, you'll notice that my wrist did not break at all. Okay? I'll have kids, this is when it'll start measuring you. When you cast your hands towards the plate. Now the clock is ticking. And this is going to be about 0.25 to 0.3, maybe even 0.35, because it's measuring, it's going here, 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 and then coming through. Okay? We don't want that. So what I would suggest you do is a drill, and this can go all the way from the 7-year-olds all the way up to my high school kids. Just a simple drill where we're getting our hitter's triangle, and what we want to do is load and rotate the triangle with our backside. We're doing nothing in the upper half. Okay? Now be careful. We don't want to slam that thing through. We just want to rotate and completely lock your brain in on your back half. If you can see this guy over here, do it again. That was outstanding. That was perfect. He is not worrying about his upper half. Your first rep was better than that one. Relax. Don't worry about the upper half. Watch me again. I'm just locked in on my back foot. Locked into my back foot. I want you guys all to go real slow right now and just have your back foot take that triangle from being at the catcher to the ball. The triangle goes from the catcher to the ball with my back foot. Don't worry about your hands. Don't worry about your shoulders. Don't worry about your arms. Just keep that triangle intact. That triangle should not change at all. Why? Because you're just rotating your triangle with your back foot. Just keep going, guys. Keep going. You want to talk about what you do on deck? This is one of the things you do on deck. The pitcher is throwing, you're on deck, just rotate your triangle. That'll get your timing down in a second. Don't worry, I see too many guys with hands. Don't worry about your hands. Just rotate, rotate, go again. Okay, we'll come back to this. I just want to give a little bit more understanding. That time to contact, what you want to do, what I like about that number is, as a hitter, we want to make sure that we stay in the hitting zone. Keep our hands in the hitting zone as long as we possibly can. Okay? So by just rotating that hitter's triangle, my hands are still in the zone. I'm still tracking the ball. And if you're playing along here, you'll notice that really the first movement in the swing is the lower half. Okay? Very shortly followed behind the hands. So it's the rotation and then the hands come through. So you hear stay back, stay back. That's what stay back means. Stay back means I rotate, I keep my hands, I make sure that I'm not breaking my wrist quite yet, and then when I see that pitch, boom, I stamp on it and I go to town. I go to work, okay? So that's the benefit of this drill right now is this will help you guys keep your hands in the zone for as long as possible. Looking at you guys over here, you're starting to see pretty good changeups now. Guy with a slider, guy with a changeup, or with a curveball, all right? You got it. If you're going to have any chance with that pitch, gentlemen, you've got to have your hands in the zone as long as possible. Once you've committed your hands, you're done. You're going to be able to do nothing with those pitches. But as you're coming through and it's a changeup, as long as you still got your hands, which is your main power source, you still have the ability to do something productive with that baseball. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. A few more rotations. I want to see this done a little bit better. Coaches who are helping out, thank you. Take a look at these guys and make sure that you can see that they're locked in on their lower half. They're not even worried about the upper half. That triangle and the way their hands are doesn't change an inch. Good gentlemen, keep going. All right. Now, for you guys, not so much. But as we go a little bit younger here, depending on the skill level, let me differentiate this way. Give me, here. All you guys drop your bats, all you guys keep your bats, okay? And we're going to do the exact same drill, but you guys are going to do it with a bat, you guys are going to do it without a bat. The other thing that goes along with this is, first and foremost, as a hitter, what's your name? Brady. This is going to be extremely gross and very painful, but play along, okay? I've got a big pole. stick it right through Brady's head, okay? We're going to call this our center mark. This is the center. So if Brady's on this side of the pole, he's front of center. If he's on this side of the pole, he's back of center. When we are doing this movement of keeping our hands in the zone as long as possible, we want to make sure we're staying back of center. You guys are going to do that with a bat. You guys are going to do that with a punch. So you guys all get as if you have the bat in your hand, okay? Now, I like this drill, maybe even for these guys, especially if you're having some problems. If those kids are casting those hands, okay, it's their weak hand that's the problem. Their weak hand needs to stay closed, and that will keep them on the pitch a little bit longer, okay? So with this drill, I like this, one or two things. And I don't have it, I actually have it on order. There's these exercise balls that are kind of squishy, and what you do is you put the ball right in between their bicep and their chest here, and you make them fling that ball out in front, keeping this thing closed. So if they open this up too much, can you guys envision what's going to happen with the ball? It's going to flop right in front of me. So as they're in this movement, if they rotate and try to get the ball to go out towards the pitcher, it'll keep them on the pitch or in the zone longer. We can do the same type of thing with just a punch here. So you guys are going to do this. The cadence is going to be the same. Stance, punch. You guys are going to punch by just rotating the hitter's triangle, staying back of center. You guys, when you hear me punch, it's going to be stance, punch. I want to see you guys back of center, and I want you guys really leading with that front, that strong hand, all right? Here we go. Relax. Stance. Punch. Stay back of center. Stay back of center. Stay back of center. Good, good, good. Okay, reset. Stance. Punch. Good. Good, 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 good. Hold that stance. Hold that stance. Hold that stance. Okay, one more. Focus especially around here. Here's my how you got them in the front. All the good ones. Here, nice firm. Don't understand on the front center. Ready? Stance. Punch. Okay. You feel it? Feel which way you're going? Which way you're going? You're going out. Which way you're going? This one, right? Stance. Punch. Good. Good, good, good. Just so we're well balanced out. Johnny, come on here real quick. If you happen to have a kid, maybe they're over here, have them drop the bat. And for this thing back of center, just get your hand in here. I want you to lunge this time. Wait, you go that way now. Here we go. Stance. Punch. He's trying to lunge, and I'm trying to get my hand and get back here, Johnny, all right? So that's how you can help them feel themselves getting front of center, okay? But that being said, you guys are all awesome over here. Nobody over here do I have any major fears with that. All right. Next thing. Actually, last thing. Make sure you got enough space because now we're going to have at it. All right? Pick up your bat. If you don't have a bat. Now with all this, just going to swing it. Just going to swing it. All right? Make sure that you're thinking about the things we just talked about as you swing it. Now, the last bit here, I kind of condensed all into one movement. Okay? We get to a point where we load. Okay? The load, what basically I'm looking for again, all things being equal, nice and efficient, palm outer like, where we're just picking the foot up, putting it down, getting the hands to and through the baseball. If you're knee to knee, I'm okay with that. If you're higher leg kick, I'm okay with that, just as long as you're good and efficient to the baseball. But at this point in time, it's stance, swing, and as you swing, what I want to see you guys doing is making sure that you're getting those hands all the way through, getting to what we call our power V. Okay, you can see my power V right here, and then finishing over the top shoulder. All right, let's see how it looks. I'm going to just go stance and swing. Where's you shift over there right there? Nope, you're good. Yep, you go there. Great house was good. All right, here we go. Stance, swing. Stay back of center, boys. Stay back of center. Good. Stance, Swing it. Good. Good. One more. Stance. Swing it. All right. Just to kind of revisit, and I'm going to get you guys swinging here. All of this, not anything new, especially for guys that have heard me before. You've noticed same old, but you know the technology that I've incorporated into the high school kind of feeds into this, and that's kind of where my angle is right now. So what I'm envisioning here is I want everybody to have a try with this technology. I think I counted up about 35. So and we have at least 7, if not more, coaches. So here's what I'd like to do. Actually, come on over here. I'll give you a little tour of what I want to have happen and how some of the drills that I'm doing here kind of fit into what we're doing. You guys coming over there? I know that there's some tees over there. Can you grab me a tee, please? All right. One of the drills that I want to have set up is going to be in here. Gentlemen, you need to challenge yourself the best that you can.
Is that good?
You want to get this tee as tight to the net as you possibly can. And we talk about having the hand stay in the zone as long as possible and not casting it. You guys are all smart enough to tell me what's going to happen. If there is a ball on here and I'm going to go to swing and my hands go here, can somebody tell me if I am or am not going to hit the net? Okay. That feedback is telling you that your hands are going the wrong direction. If you hit that net, what are you doing with your hands? Here are your two options. Either your hands are going towards the home plate or your hands are going towards the ball. Which of the two is happening if you're hitting that net? Home plate or ball? Do we want to be going towards home plate? No, we want to be going towards the ball. Okay? Just because I didn't go over this. Specifically, where do you want your hands to be going towards the ball? Just the ball in general? The answer is no. What is it? I like it. It's not right, but I like it. Yes. Your hands need to be tracking towards the inside of the baseball, okay? Johnny, come on in here for a second. You're standing around waiting to get some reps in. You can get some muscle memory developed on this. Come on over here. Let's get away. Face up on me. I'm the pitcher. So, you're not going to swing, because if you do, you're going to kill me, all right? I'm going to have my hands behind my back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot my fist out, and what Johnny's going to do is he's going to rotate that hitter's triangle, and he's going to do it so the inside of the knob of the bat is just inside the baseball, okay? So if the pitch is here, this is where Johnny's at. If the pitch is here, this is where Johnny's at. The triangle and or knob gets adjusted based on where the pitch is. You ready? Please don't swing. Atta boy, okay? Don't lunge at me, just rotate the triangle with your back leg. Atta boy, good. So, coaches, nice drill to do in waiting, or guys, nice drill to do with a partner as you're waiting to get in here, okay? But anyway, how that relates to this, thank you, Johnny. How that relates to this, that, Johnny, is the movement we want to have with this drill, not this where we're hitting the net. So, the group that's going to be in here is simply going to hit the ball across the cage the best that they can, having that tee as tight as they can to the net. Over there, my vision was if I could get a coach or two, just get the kids some BP, okay? And then a variety of soft toss stations and tee stations. I'll be over there with that. And coaches, here's what I would really, really like you to do. Get a group. I'm thinking your group should be no more than 4 or 5. Travel with that group. So when you go to the next station, stay with that group. That way I'm ensured that every one of you coaches come through me over here, okay? So you guys, if you want to, get a quick drink and then get to your coaches and start divvying up and get in groups of 5, and then we'll get going with some stations here. First and foremost, attack angle is the angle at which your back is going after the baseball. Does anybody remember the number we Zero. You guys are on a flat mound. True or false? 13 is okay. True or false? False. Negative 7 is okay. False. We don't want to be in a negative. True or false? 30 is okay. Can somebody tell me what is happening if that number registers at 30? Okay, let's give it a try. We'll start with each of you guys taking 3 cuts and we'll see where we're at. The top number, boys, is your bat speed. And that's a good number too because that's telling us how hard you're swinging the bat. So we're looking at the top 3 numbers. The top one is the bat speed. See where the 60 is right now? That's your attack angle, okay? That to be, you want that to be that 0 to 15, ideally 0. And then the one on the right-hand side, 0.19. We want that number to be about 0.17 to 0.23. Okay, that simply means that you're getting to the baseball efficiently. You're getting to the baseball good. If that number's too high, that means that you're breaking too soon, or you're not swinging the bat as efficiently as you need to. All right, let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. Okay, good. Look at that. 0. Right on the money. That's exactly where we want to be. That time to contact is real good too. Good. Good. Attack angle is what we want. I love the back. That's good. That one's probably going to be a little bit more. Yep. I was going to say that's getting closer to negative, but that's all right. Hey, you're good looking. Next guy in here. Just keep on using the same bat if you want. Yep. Now, coaches and players. For every 5 swings, the number makes perfect sense, and then we get this one swing where it doesn't make any sense. Based on what you did with the ball, what would you guys have expected with that number to be? Yeah, you would expected that number to be a little bit closer to like 20 or 25 just because you came under so much, but that's okay. And here's the bottom line. We're thinking about these things, right? We understand what can happen in the swing, and that's the most important thing. Oh boy. All right, kid. All right. Don't think about anything. Okay, right now, you know what you need to do. Just get those hands going to the ball and through the ball and take a good cut. All right? Here we go. Through the ball, through the ball. You're all right. That's it. Good. All right, next guy in here. Good.
No, that's not good.
Now,
That's the bat.
what I like about this is whether the numbers do anything for you or the kids, they're interested, they're engaged. You know, and especially like that bat speed number, they'll get into that and they'll be wanting to beat each other. Good. 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 Time to contact is real good too. I would say that attack angle was probably a little bit off. A little bit more level than that. Okay. All right. Right where you need to be. Right where you need to be.
What's that? Like 70.
Does that make sense? Right, that attack angle, given where that was hit, a little bit too high.
Actually,
Coaches, just FYI, that was my additional buy, so I bought an HDMI connector to my Android off of Amazon, and I bought the TV for $55 off of Amazon. It's nice because, you know, I can set this up in front of the cage or whatever, and my kids will, you know, I'll walk away, and then they got the numbers right there. Rather than having it on the phone, it just makes it a little easier to see the numbers.
oh, that's what you have.
Yeah. It's actually on the phone, but I have the TV,
right.
so it's easy to see.
Got it.
Good?
Oh, yeah.
2 more. You're all right. Take the angle right where it needs to be. So you can get that 46.5 up, you can be closer to 50. Get that back going. One more good one. Attaboy.
Shoe, Jake. Cheese.
All right. All right.
Shoes are always
Here we go. Last one. This is it then?
left
Good.
What?
All right, hey, boys,
Boys, over here quick.
a little bit here.
Couple more minutes.
One thing that one of the coaches had pointed out to me that he had seen, and just so you have kind of an idea of what we expect, or at least our starting point, and it's where do I stand in the batter's box? Okay? In a perfect world, what we do is we're Pentagon's coming up and meets this angle here. Right here, this point of the plate, we split that right with our body, okay? And then what I want to do to determine how close or far away I want to be from the plate is dependent on my bat. Let me see guys that are knowing what I'm talking about. Well, how does my bat determine whether I should be back here, here, here? How does that happen?
How far can we cross the plate?
Good. I just simply put my bat down, and this is telling me with this bat, which is too short for me, the reason why I have to be so close to the plate is because this bat is too short. But this gives me the feedback that I need. I can reach the outside part of the plate. If I were to stand in my normal spot, right here, a good catcher sees that I got this short bat. Where is he going to be pitching me? All day long. Outside, because he knows I can't reach it, all right? So if it's a slower pitcher, okay, we might want to move up a little bit, okay? So maybe being on the front part of the plate, okay? If we have, for you older guys, another thing that we have is we'll see guys that don't throw all that hard. Be careful with those guys. Because if they do, we've got guys that don't throw real hard, but we say that they have a heavy ball, and the heavy ball means that it drops. So they throw their fastball, and it's coming, and you're just going, I'm going to kill this thing, and all of a sudden it just drops as it's getting to the catcher. The adjustment as a hitter that you need to make is you need to move up. It's not really throwing a curveball, okay, but because the ball is dropping, you want to try to get it before it drops. But so that's more or less where we're there. I'm real curious to see what happens here. Where's my friend? Back, that way. By raising hands. Something you were either reminded of or learned brand new today. Something you were reminded of or learned brand new. Okay, let's do it a different way. Unfortunately for you guys, I teach 5th grade. I taught in middle school for a lot of years, so I get I'm right in your wheelhouse, so I get it. You don't want to raise your hand in front of all your friends. Look to the person to your right or left and either tell them something you learned and or something you were reminded of. Go.
Keeping my foot like even with the plate. You know.
All right, now do I have a friend that's willing to share out? What you got? Batting at 0 degrees, okay? We call that our attack angle, okay? And why do we want to be at 0 degrees? If you're 0 degrees, someone else, tell me why you want to be at 0 degrees if you're indeed at 0 degrees. Why? Good, because the pitch is coming in at 0 degrees. I want to meet it at 0 degrees. Where are my 6 degree friends? Tell me why some of my friends in here want to be not at 0 degrees, but 6 degrees. Go ahead. Good. Anybody else? Learned and or were reminded?
I thought negative, like that angle is still okay.
Yes. Okay. Reminder. We most groups, I think we talked about this. If you had a choice between having an attack angle that's at like 30, 35 degrees or an attack angle that's at -1, neither one of those numbers, according to what I said, are good numbers, but let's do the -1 instead of the 30. Again, I'm going to have you look to somebody either to your right or left and explain to them why we'd rather have the -1 instead of the 30. Go. Now for the coaches, and I talked to some of the older guys, you know, there's lots out there, guys. Raise your hand. You've heard of Hitters, Prospect, you know, some of these other places, and if you haven't already, as you get older, am I right, guys? You're going to hear more and more about this launch angle. My older guys, raise your hand if you've heard of this launch angle thing. Okay? Almost half of you. Okay? The launch angle is this attack angle, and a launch angle, they want you to attack that ball. We say 0 to 15. Launch angle coaches, which I have no problem with it, they want you to attack that ball. A lot of pro hitters as well want to attack that ball at like 15 to 30 degrees. And what are they trying to do if they want to attack it at 15, 30 degrees? There's nothing wrong with that. But what is it that they want to do? We want to go 0.6 because we want to be good, clean line drives. But a guy that's launch angle, like a pro or some of these other hitters that are being taught this, what do they want to do with the ball? They do want to hit a dinger. You're right. There's no doubt about that. But just generally speaking, where do they want the ball? They want the ball up in the air. Here's the problem. You know, when I look at the kids in my program, that's fine. Go ahead and hit the ball up in the air. But if you hit the ball up in the air, and I got a center fielder that's consistently getting underneath it and catching it, give me a thumbs up if it makes sense. As your coach, I don't want you doing that anymore. Please stop doing that. All you're doing is hitting a fly ball and getting outs. Now, if I got a guy that can hit at launch angle, that 15 to 30 degrees, and I constantly have center fielders that are turning and sprinting and or watching the ball go over the fence, fine. Stay at your 27 degrees. Stay at your 30 degrees. I got no problem with it. My ultimate point here is this, and this, I guess, closing remark would be for you guys as coaches. You know, depending on what you're hearing and what have you. There's nothing wrong with the launch angle. Just make sure it fits the kid. Sometimes I get concerned where kids are being taught this swing, and it's just not appropriate for their body type, or at least not yet. They're not big enough, strong enough to be able to do what you need to do with that. Okay, they're not Ryan Braun yet. Ryan Braun should be at launch angle because he can hit the ball 425 some feet. Okay, guys, you were awesome today. Love the opportunity to come out. Best of luck to you guys. Keep working hard. Just looking at the talent in this room right now, I'm super excited about what we've got coming forward. So, and coaches, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Guys, let's give Coach Schramek a big round of applause. Thank you very much for coming tonight. I took away a few things. Hopefully all the coaches took away a few things. You know, a lot of you guys were in here for almost 2 hours, and a lot of you were just, you know, I watched a bunch of you were just at a downtime. You were just doing that little bit of twist. You were looking for that hitter's triangle, and you were just doing that. It doesn't hurt to do that 10,000 times. It helps train your body to continuously do that and get yourself in the right position for when that ball does come across the plate. So, you guys, tribute to you for coming and spending a couple hours here tonight. Continue on this path. Take this information away. Use it in the clubhouse here over the next few months. And good luck this summer out on the diamond. So, thanks for coming.
Thank you guys. One last thing. We have had groups come out and work out with the varsity team on game days, right? And it's outstanding. Please, coaches, think about doing that. Give me an email, give me a call. We'll find a date that works for both of us. And basically the way it works is we go out, we do our pregame warm-up. The junior charger is right in their hip pocket. They do the warm-up with them. My plug for it is this. The reason why I like it is not only is it a cool experience for you guys, we'll even get you guys lined up on the line for the national anthem, but for my kids, I'm constantly looking for different ways that I can give them something new to continue to do the things that we need to do. What I do is I put responsibility on them. So they've got, you know, the group of 10-year-olds or 11-year-olds, and I cue them, but I'm like, all right, guys, let's talk about hand position, okay? It's my varsity guy's responsibility to talk to your guy about hand position, what we do, why we do it, and my kids' brains are now working. So it's a whole nother level of understanding what they're doing because they have to explain it, and they got a huge responsibility on themselves because they better not screw this up. I don't want them giving these guys wrong information, and I'm so proud of my guys when they do it because they don't give them wrong information, but it's a really cool experience. Please, I beg you, get a hold of me if you're interested in something like that, and we'll make it happen. So, again, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.